Hey there everyone, it's Jenna. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be decorating my space for the fall season. And basically, if you're unfamiliar with my channel, I share approachable and affordable styling ideas to help give your space that high-end designer feel on a budget, of course. So the goal for my fall decorating this year is just to keep it really earthy and natural, still festive, but not too over the top or themey. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and without further ado, let's get into the decorating.
Okay, so first we're going to spruce up our entryway area, and this is pretty much what it's looked like since we've moved in. This welcome mat was here when we got here, and it was definitely time for a little fall refresh. So I swept away some of the leaves and debris that the monsoons brought in, and for a base layer, I got this rug from IKEA. We actually had this at our last house, and it's only $4 and just gives off such a pretty natural texture and just helps this area feel a little bit more homey since it's a softer textile. And then I found this beautiful knotted doormat for $15, and it looks super similar to the one they sell on Serena and Lily for 98 bucks. I love knotted doormats like this because you can use them year round, and the knotted texture just helps to add visual interest, and it's a great base to build off of, and then you can accent it with seasonal decor for a more high-end look. So I layered in this rustic planter that I DIY'd in a previous video, and my original thought was to get some colorful mums because I planted some last year when we lived in North Carolina on our back patio, and I just loved the look of them. But when I was at the store here in Arizona, I saw that the size mums that I wanted were $25, and I just didn't think that they would last long here in this Arizona heat since we are still getting triple-digit weather. So I set out to find some realistic faux mums, and when I was at Hobby Lobby, I spotted these pretty burgundy colored ones. They were on sale for $11 each, and I bought 2 of them to give off a fuller look, and they also come in a yellow color as well, and I used these in a fall tablescape a couple years back, but I couldn't take everything with me in the move, so I thought it'd be fun to try the burgundy ones this time. And to make them last outside, I just used some Scotchgard and gave them a good spray so that they won't fade or lose their color. And then I just popped both of them in the planter, and honestly, I was super impressed by how realistic these looked, and I love that they even have the different stages of budding and the mature blooms to give that super lifelike feel. And the best part is that these should last for years to come, and I also added in some pumpkins that I found at HomeGoods just to keep things feeling very natural and festive at the same time. And I love the look of heirloom pumpkins scattered on front porch steps, but this is just a more budget-friendly way to get a similar look on a smaller scale. So next we're going to move inside, and we have this pretty arched window in our kitchen, and since the kitchen is mostly white, I thought this would be a perfect place to add a pop of color with a fall wreath.
Okay, so I showed you all this wreath in my Target Shop With Me and haul, and I really liked it because of its beautiful burgundy color, and it also looked like a very close dupe for the one that they sell at McGee & Co. That one is over $150, while this guy is only 35 bucks, and I felt like it gave off a really designer look, but a lot of times with like the seasonal fall decor at Target, everybody has it. So I kind of wanted to do something to this that would zhuzh it up a little bit and make it feel a little bit more unique and designer, because I was very inspired by the wreaths that they have at Anthropologie this season, and even McGee & Co., how they have those beautiful ribbon details. I just figured we could do something simple to this that would be affordable but still make it look very expensive and just give it a little bit more visual interest.
So when I was shopping at Trader Joe's, I spotted this baby's breath for $4, and I knew it would be the perfect thing to help add some variation and texture to our wreath. So I just snipped small clusters and stuck them in between the leaves, and you could even use this as a centerpiece on a dining table and just pop a vase in the middle for a super elegant look. Maybe if you're hosting something like Thanksgiving or a Friendsgiving or like a fall gathering. And this baby's breath will dry in the wreath, so it won't be as white and fluffy as the day that you snip it, but it will still give off a beautiful pop of that wildflower whimsy, contrast, and texture. And I am obsessed with how this came out. It totally reminds me of something you would find at Anthropologie, and one of the best parts is that we used real baby's breath, so it kind of tricks the eye into thinking that all of the foliage on the wreath is real. So it's a great way to enhance a faux wreath that you may already have as well. And next I wanted to add a ribbon, and so I had this scrap piece of fabric that I found at Walmart in this scrap fabric section. And if you watch my channel, you totally know about the Walmart scrap fabric section. I talk about this all the time. It's the best place to source cheap fabric to use in things like ribbons, bows, table runners, things like that. So I loved the delicate look of this lace and how it kind of gave off a vintagey feel. And I actually use this as a table runner sometimes, so I wanted to keep the fabric intact for that. But I just cut a long piece off of the side that was a couple inches in width, and it gave us this beautiful lace ribbon. Super easy and affordable. So from there, I just ran it through the loop at the top of the wreath and tied it into a bow, and I love how this looks. To me, it's a cross between Haunted Mansion and like a fall wildflower field. Super unique and beautiful. And then to hang it, I used this renter-friendly command hook and attached these little S hooks to it so that it would hang to the height that I wanted, since the window pane was kind of funky on this window. But I love how this instantly elevates the look of our kitchen and just gives it that natural yet festive fall feeling that I was going for. And then to accent it, I used this diffuser jack-o'-lantern that I showed in a previous video, and I popped a little candle next to it. And I love how cozy this feels. I like to diffuse orange in the morning while I'm making my coffee, and it's just such a nice way to start the day. And then to keep with that rusty burgundy color palette, I just swapped out my greenery for this faux maple stem arrangement that I also showed you guys in a previous video. And I like to repeat a certain color multiple times throughout a space so that it looks cohesive. And our produce bowl was empty, so I do cook with a lot of red onions, and I figured that these would be perfect to have out on display and add another pop of that burgundy and relate back to the color palette of our wreath. And I really like how this is practical decor, but it also just ties everything together so effortlessly. Warm colored produce also looks great in the fall, things like sweet potatoes or yellow onions. Now moving on over to our dining table, I already showed you all how I added that pop of burgundy with these faux stems, and I love this arrangement, but we are having lots of guests come through this season, so I wanted to swap it out for something lower so everybody could see each other and have a conversation around the table. And one of my cheap table runner go-tos is cheesecloth. I got this at Hobby Lobby for $6, and I love that casual rustic feel that it gives off and all of the soft texture that it adds. And to use as our centerpiece, I actually DIY'd this cute little pumpkin succulent arrangement, and I'm actually going to share how I did this step by step in next week's fall DIY video, so be sure that you're subscribed so you don't miss that. But I love the wild yet elegant feel of this arrangement and how natural it looks. And then I moved the taller arrangement over to our kitchen island to help anchor the space and help to tie in that burgundy color. And then I like to style in groups of threes, so I added in this cake stand because pumpkin and apple treats are some of my favorites, so it's just nice to have a pretty place to display them. And then on the other side, I used this glass pumpkin that I found a couple years ago in the Target dollar section, and I filled it with some fall potpourri to give off that earthy, natural feel that I love. And then as far as fall treats go, these apple cider donuts from Trader Joe's are both Mike and I's favorite. If you pop them in the microwave for like 10 seconds, it takes them to the next level. So I like to fill my cake stand with these, and it's nice for when we have guests because there's something out on the counter that they can easily see and grab. And then moving over to the living room, I already showed you guys in my fall haul how I use this affordable seated garland to elevate the look of our dining area and just give it that natural yet festive feeling. And I also found these stunning stems for $5 each, and I just love the rustic autumnal feel that they give off, but I wanted to accent the vase and stems with something that felt more warm and natural. So I brought in this vintage wood bowl that I found at an antique shop. It gives off a lot of that warmth that I'm looking for, and then I filled it with this fall potpourri that I saved from last year. This stuff smells so good, and I love the natural fall colors that it has in it. And I also had a leaf from one of my garlands that fell off in storage, so I just save those and I put them in a little baggie, and then I'll pop them in things like bowls like this for that effortlessly styled look. And I got my potpourri from HomeGoods, but I saw this stuff at Target this year, and it definitely has a similar feel with those natural warm tones. So it could be good if you're looking for something similar. And like I said before, I like to style in groups of 3. So I just added in this little figural pumpkin candle that I bought last year from Target, but they do sell a super similar looking one at Pottery Barn. So it really does have that designer feel to it. So next I wanted to style this little cabinet that we keep by the front door in our entry, and I use it to store shoes and returns, things like that. So I just wanted to style the top and dress it up a little bit, and something that can instantly give your space a cozy autumnal feel is artwork. And this was actually a photo that I just took on my phone, and then I used an app to convert it into a painting. And I love the pop of rusty fall color that it gives to this blank white wall. And then I needed to add some height on the other side to balance it out, so I brought in this black picture, and I love the shape of this and how it adds some contrast to this lighter space. And like I said before, when styling a space, I'll try to repeat certain colors multiple times. So I liked that these stems pulled the same colors from the painting, so it helped this grouping to look a little bit more cohesive. And these were actually stems that I found on Etsy a couple years ago, but I love how realistic they look. Something else that I love to add to my fall decor are pieces that glow. So I used this battery operated candle and covered it with this woven pumpkin that I found at HomeGoods. And woven pieces really help to warm up a space, and then adding that warm glow with the candle just really takes it to the next level. And I finished it all off with another grouping of 3 with this smaller pumpkin candle, and I just love how this came out. Very autumnal feeling, yet still very earthy and natural at the same time. And then I showed you all how I used this burgundy garland to dress up our mantle to add a little pop of contrasting color and to give it that casual organic feel. And then I wanted to add something with height, so I popped on these vintage candlesticks that I collected at thrift stores, and then I added in this faux heirloom pumpkin right next to them. I propped it up on its side, and this just finishes off yet another group of 3 and kind of rounds out the mantle area. So now that the mantle is all styled, I wanted to infuse fall into our shelf styling in some subtle and easy ways. So because we added that brass, I thought it'd be nice to repeat that with this small little brass pumpkin that I found at HomeGoods, and it just helps to add some warmth and then tie in the brass detail from those candlestick holders to make the decor feel intentional and cohesive. And then I just swapped out this faux succulent for some dried oranges that I had saved. I bought these at TJ Maxx years ago, and I reuse them every single year. And I also had some more scrap greenery that I just stuck in with the dried oranges to give it a soft, natural feel. And I showed you all in my Target haul how I got this amber glass pumpkin, and then I put an LED candle inside. And this was such a great way to incorporate that cozy glowing decor. But while I was unpacking more holiday boxes, I found some fairy lights, so I swapped out the candle for these, and oh my gosh, how beautiful does this look? I love the cozy, whimsical feel this gives off, and it really helps to up the ambiance at nighttime. So now that the mantle and shelves are all styled, I wanted to add a little bit more interest to our hearth area. So I brought in these woven pumpkin baskets. I got these at HomeGoods, and again, woven decor is so timeless and really helps to infuse warmth into a space, so it's perfect for fall. And these are great to hold our card games and other seasonal decor that I want to have easily accessible. And then as a statement stem, I used 2 of these burgundy branches that I found at Hobby Lobby, and I love the subtle pop of color that these give off, and they're great dupes for the ones that they sell on a floral. I also love that they help to tie in that burgundy accent and relate back to our mantle garland. And then for pillows, I typically just keep ones that I have on there year round, but I might just pop one little fun seasonal pillow to make things feel more festive. And I got this butternut squash pillow at an antique store shopping with my late mother-in-law, so it always reminds me of that memory, so I thought it would be a sweet little detail to incorporate here. And for me, fall is all about the cozy layers. So this floor vase is perfect by itself throughout the year, but for fall, I wanted to layer some decor around the base for a more cozy feel. And I have this lantern that I filled with candles and some of those dried oranges that I reuse every single year. And then I just popped it right next to the floor vase. And I love how, again, it just helps the space to feel festive, but still really earthy and natural at the same time. And this was a piece that I actually bought this year from HomeGoods. This is a terracotta look jack-o'-lantern that looks super similar to the Pottery Barn ones, and this guy was only $17. So I just added it in to complete another group of 3 here, and I love how just by layering in a couple of decor pieces on top of what I already had, it really helps to make this space feel warm and festive.
Alright everyone, that about wraps up this fall decorate with me. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really does help to support my channel. It makes it so that I can keep doing these seasonal decorate with me's in the future. And be sure that you hit the notification bell so that you're notified when my videos do go live, because I have more fall content coming, including a fall DIY. So don't want to miss that, and I hope your fall seasons are all off to great starts so far. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!